Spent a good chunk of the first hour today talking some Mariners and personnel, Danny, and what they're going to do and who they can sign and what kind of free agent and who are they going to develop. And it's quite a different issue with your Seattle Seahawks as you point ahead. It's not a matter of who are they going to develop. It's a matter of who can they keep. And John Clayton yesterday, the professor, talking about Golden Tate and thinking right now with the current constraints on the salary cap and how much is being spent at that wide receiver position, there may not be a place for Golden Tate.
It's going to be a question going forward. There's no doubt about that. He's one of 4 guys that I think we could target that are really contract years. 2 of them signed beyond that, Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas, but they're in positions as guys that are at the top of their pay grade, top of their positional pecking order. They're going to be looking to get toward the top of the pay grade with extensions. Brandon Browner, Golden Tate are 2 unrestricted free agents. 2 guys that you wonder if they're going to keep, but here's the wild card. We don't know what the market's going to do. And if you take this past season as an example of what happens in what they're calling the flat cap era, where the salary cap did not spike, the market for cornerbacks was extremely dry, and a top shelf receiver like Mike Wallace, he got big bucks. Is Golden Tate going to be in that? And could you rule out the possibility that if he keeps progressing and he plays this whole season like he played the second half of last season, that there's still a spot at the table for him?
I appreciate the professor. It's impossible. You have no idea what's going to transpire over the next 20 weeks, and all he's trying to do is look at that crystal ball and look what's allocated to Percy Harvin and the drafting of Chris Harper and just everything going around. But I hope we've learned one thing from this crew, Schneider and Carroll. They give their players every opportunity to shine, and Golden's going to have that chance. And more importantly, Danny, here's your number. Here's what we feel is the market value. Doesn't work? Well, you're going to see some tough decisions here down the road. It could be very soon with some of their personnel.
Now, one of the things about Golden Tate, when you talk about those tough decisions, I think in part the acquisition of Percy Harvin was a look that they see Harvin as a better, more dynamic player. And the results kind of point to that. But what they didn't want to get into is a situation where you had to keep Golden Tate, where you had to keep him for what is not the game-breaking player that Harvin is. But I don't think that means they've closed the door to bring him back.
I don't think so either. In fact, I think Sidney Rice is more on a 1-year deal than Golden Tate is. So we'll just see how this season unfolds.